Hi friends, thank you for joining. Today we have Shreyas Kulkarni with us. He has been one of our students from December 2019, and I'm very happy. Congratulations, Shreyas, first of all, and
Thank you.
very happy to see that you have moved into a machine learning role at Quixi as a machine learning engineer. And just to give you some background, Shreyas has about 1.5 years of prior experience in data engineering and software development. And in his previous roles also, he did some machine learning. He applied machine learning while he was a student in our course to a lot of problems. And most importantly, thank you on behalf of all of our team and students for taking the time to share your experiences.
Thank you for inviting me for this, and it's like great honor to have this chat with you. And I'm really happy today. I transitioned to like a proper machine learning role, and the journey was very smooth to see. There were few difficulties, but slowly I just overcame it, and with the help of team, I just overcame it, and I was able to move to a proper machine learning role. And today I'm very happy.
Hey, I mean, we want every student to be in your same state because you've put in the effort, you've put in significant amount of effort, applied whatever you learned at your workplace and successfully transitioned. So to be honest, I think you should get all of the credit. We were just there on the sidelines, just guiding you. So you you put in the effort, so you deserve all the credit.
Thank you.
Hey, cool. So first and foremost, I wanted to understand what was your interview experience like? So to what depth did they go on different topics in machine learning? How much of programming was covered? How much mathematical depth was covered? Just wanted to understand that.
Yes, sure. So like there was no programming questions as such. I mean, related to programming, there were no questions, but all questions were related to mostly like deep learning and machine learning theory. But yes, the interview was like, I can say like average hard kind of thing, because the final interview that we gave at the end of the course, that was more tough in fact. And all the questions that that were asked, all were like covered in the course at some point or other. All the questions were covered, and the questions were very simple, like about related to some metrics, or why specifically you would use this like activation function, not other one. What is like advantage of redo or different sigmoid function or something like that. And then what a recall metric, or what metric you would use for this type of problem statement. Then in RESTnet, why what are the usefulness of residual connections and all those kind of was there. But there was not much of mathematical depth. I mean, the interviewer didn't ask me to like derive something or like that, but he was understanding like, do I have the interpretation of whatever the concepts, basically interpretation, I mean able to interpret the concepts and all those things. That was, that the interviewer was looking for.
Yeah, it also seems like they asked a lot of why this is used, where this is used, and
Yeah,
things like that.
right.
So you had no programming round, no screening task, nothing whatsoever.
No.
Okay, cool. So how many rounds did you have, and can you give a little more details about these rounds?
Yeah, so first round was basically the technical round, in which they asked me all this deep learning and machine learning questions. And the second round was just the discussion about my previous project and some technologies I'm familiar with it, and all those kind of things like that. I mean, there were just two rounds.
Oh, there were just two rounds for you. Okay. And again, I think I should also inform all the students that first and foremost, I mean, you not only transitioned to a machine learning engineering role, you also got a significant hike of about 60% from your previous compensation. So
yes.
Yeah, so that's also good. It feels good when you put in the effort and you get the results for it. Cool.
I mean, yeah, it is very exciting.
Yes. So I mean, I also wanted to understand. So you mentioned a very important point, which was that the interviews that you faced were certainly easier than the two mock interviews that you faced with us.
Yes.
So
I mean, yes. So like the interviews that I had with, in two mock interviews, there were like lot of things were asked, in lot of depth and all those things it was. So I was already prepared. Like those interviews are also going to be that tough. So I had prepared for this. In fact, in my last mock interview was, I was not prepared for that kind of theory stuff. So you had given me some advice. I had followed that. It had helped me. And so like my next interviews, in fact, I had interviewed in other companies also, but all those interviews I felt were like one step below the final mock interview and the second mock interview were. So
Yeah, so
it helped me a lot. The mock interviews gave me an idea of where I am, what I need to do further. That helped me a lot. I mean, those mock interviews were really useful, kind of.
yeah, we try to just push you just outside your comfort zone so that you know there is potential to improve and you'll prepare for harder interviews in general.
Yes. Yeah.
I also want to understand your learning journey throughout Applied AA course, because you're also trying to apply some of what you learn at your workplace, right? So I want to understand your learning journey, how you did the assignments, what happened when you got stuck and things like that.
Yes. So I just want to say, like, I mean, to everyone, like, the consistency part is very important, because I will tell you what happened with me. Like, first 15 assignments I completed in, like, say, within first 4 months or something. I mean, I used to do like video, then the assignment. So, so once I learned that concept and I used to do the assignment, it was like a check, like, have I understood it? Have not understood it? So that was my pattern. But, after that, my work schedule got, I mean, it was a bit mess. So there was a break came in, and I also used to delay, like, okay, I have worked too much, let's do it. But that break in middle, like around 2 months of break came. But that's the reason that consistency had gone. So I'd forgotten some concepts and all those things had happened. Then so afterwards I decided, whatever happens, I mean, even if I work for 14 hours a day, at least an hour I'm going to give to to study this content, so that and so again that consistency came, and slowly I was able to crack interviews and further. So please be consistent, like, so like you don't give up that flow, kind of thing. So that's one important message.
Yeah, that's a very important point, because we see that students, I mean, in our own data, right? Students who put in about those 12 hours a week, roughly about 12 hours a week, a vast majority of them, almost 96 to 97% of them, complete the course. So that's I think the most important factor in course completion and successful transition is consistency. That's one feature which has the highest weight.
Yeah.
So I also want to understand, very importantly, in addition to just learning, and again, as you mentioned, you followed the sequence given, finish the videos, do the assignments, so on and so forth. But what was your revision strategy? Because there's so much that you're learning. Remembering all of it before the interviews is hard. So what was your strategy for revision?
So I had made my notes, so I used to refer that mostly before interviews, go through concepts, or just go through videos. Like, I mean, first I used to take full, I mean, suppose the video is of 10 minutes, I should take 10 minutes, then I used to just play it on 2x, and I used to revise that way or something. Like that was my strategy, basically. Notes, and if I get stuck somewhere on some point, let's say forget derivation or this algorithm, just go to video, play it in 2x or something, and then it is to get revised, kind of.
Very good, very good, very good. So also I wanted to understand about how you applied some of the, because I see on your resume also, you are trying to apply whatever you're learning in the course at your workplace. Like you applied the BERT models, etc. Can you shed some light? Because that's a great way to build a strong portfolio. That's what we recommend all working professionals. Take whatever you're doing, try to apply it at your workplace, because that gives you real hands-on experience. So can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah. So like in my workplaces, I used to be responsible for a lot of POs. I mean, basically proof of concepts kind of thing. So I will tell my like how. So first also, before also this course, I was responsible. But at that time, how used to happen? A business problem used to come. Then I mostly used to go on Google and just type that business problem, try to copy paste some get repos, and get working. So I didn't had how to flow. I mean, the proper data science flow, how data science project has been developed. But once I started seeing the videos, okay, how this is, and the live sessions also that happen, I used to see that then, okay, this is the data science flow. Then I slowly, okay, now today understood the BERT. So if there is user, I mean, I'm working on some POC, then I will apply it over there. And like that, I used to apply. So this course gave me a whole data science project end to end is built, or how to approach that business problem. That helped me a lot. So once I used to study something, okay, if there is a POC going on, or I used to suggest, this is the things that I have learned. Let's apply it and check the results. What come, if they are good, we can use that thing, something like that. I should give ideas over there. Okay, I have learned this new thing. Okay, let's check what happens. Let's try to our data and see what happens. That's how I used to generally apply or work around this.
So it's a very good thing that you are in a team which was building quick POCs, and your manager or your team was also responsive to your suggestions to incorporate new things. That's very good, very good. So any other suggestions do you have for somebody from your background, from your work experience, who like 1 to 2 years experience? What should they focus on so that they can successfully transition to careers in data science, machine learning, etc.?
I mean, like, learn from the basic, like first principle, learn to create, for if you're planning to go for some startups or something, at least learn end-to-end process, because a lot of startups expect you to deliver end-to-end projects. So, learn basic concepts, and main thing, like from the first principle. So like, even if something new comes in market, you can easily adapt. This is also one thing that I've learned from the art of learning that we say. I have learned from your course only, basically, because there is one course is never going to be enough for life. So understand the art of learning, that kind of thing. So that will always help you to excel in your career. So that's the art of learning new things. That's one suggestion that I would like to give to all, basically 1 to 2 years who have just entered this career. The career there. So keep that art of learning and keep on learning new things continuously. So like, they can progress in their career or something like that.
So very important point that you mentioned, because in our careers, we want all of our students or everybody to be a lifelong learner. And if you have taken that single thing, which is the art of learning, I think we have done our job, and we are super happy about it. Whether you learn machine learning or deep learning is secondary, because if you learn the art of learning, you learn everything else.
Yes, cool. In fact, that's only, this course has made me confident enough, like, give me any problem statement. I'm sure, like, I may not be able to build a whole, production model, but I know I can make within a week or something, a good POC that, a working presentation I can make within a week or something. So that confidence has given me to solve, and I'm confident enough that I can solve any business problem. I can solve it. That confidence this course gave me, basically.
So that's also very important, because most startups and companies want you to go from an idea to a working prototype as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
very nice. Okay, Shreyas, thank you very much on behalf of all of our team, students and viewers for sharing your journey. I'm sure it will help a lot of other learners who are very much in your shoes and who will benefit from this. Thank you very much.
Yes, sure. Thank you.